The Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement for Geospatial Cooperation, or BECA, has finally been signed by India and the US. The deal was in the making for a long time and has now been finally clinched. The timing is significant since it comes at a time when India and China are embroiled in a bitter border standoff. The agreement will enable India to gain access to extremely accurate geospatial data. This is going to have major implications when it comes to several military aspects. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how the BECA agreement will make Indian missiles more potent. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper are in India for the third edition of the 2+2 talks with their Indian counterparts, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. India and the U.S. have already signed 3 key foundational agreements: General Security of Military Information Agreement (GSO-MIA) in 2002, the Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement (LAMOA) in 2016, and the Communications Compatibility and Security Agreement (COMCASA) in 2018. GSO-MIA, or General Security of Military Information Agreement, paved the way for greater technology cooperation in the military sector. It allows the sharing of classified information from the U.S. government and American companies with the Government of India and Defense Public Sector Undertakings (DPSU), but not with Indian private companies. LAMOA, or Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, simplifies logistics sharing. With this, the U.S. has the benefit of using the Indian facilities and vice versa. For example, if a U.S. vessel needs fuel and supplies from their Indian counterparts, instead of having to pay in cash for them, India will simply maintain a ledger balance for the transactions, which is cleared in one go at the end of the fiscal year. Similarly, if an Indian naval vessel suffers a maintenance problem while visiting the U.S. for an exercise, the repairs are done at an American port. COMCASA, or Communications, Compatibility, and Security Agreement, enable interoperation between U.S. and Indian military. Prior to the agreement, the United States had to remove advanced communication equipment from all military platforms sold to India, such as the P-8I. This has streamlined this information sharing. BECA is the last of the pacts that America signs with close partners. BECA allows India to have access to precision data topographical images on a real-time basis from the United States military satellites. Viewers may note that the U.S. has the most sophisticated satellite surveillance system in the world. BECA would set a framework through which the U.S. could share sensitive data to aid targeting and navigation with India. As per reports, the shared artifacts include maps, nautical and aeronautical charts, commercial and other unclassified imagery, geodetic, geophysical, geomagnetic, and gravity data. So the agreement will help Indian military planners since they'll have access to more information on the enemy's activities and asset locations. Also, the military-grade data includes coordinates that will help direct missiles or air-launched bombs with high accuracy for a precision strike. This will surely increase the effectiveness of Indian missiles like Agni-5 that have the capability to hit long-range targets, including any part of China. A majority of this data is usually unclassified, however there are provisions for sharing classified data also. While sharing classified info, safeguards are put in place to make sure that no third party gets access. The relationship between the world's oldest democracy, the United States, and the world's largest democracy, India, have grown closer over the years. The strengthening of the ties has accelerated with an increase in China's hostile behavior. MECA will go a long way in cementing the alliance further, and this will act as a force multiplier for the Indian military, as information is the key in modern-day combat. India, with the US, Japan, and Australia, will hold the high-level Malabar naval exercise next month. Australia is returning to these exercises for the first time since 2007, when its participation drew criticism from China. This clearly indicates that democracies in the region are now making the correct moves to counter Chinese hegemonic designs.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.